I got a fun one there, Tim. So speaking of removing the noise, Ford is removing the noise.
Ooh, now that's a segue.
From
That is
a Mustang that is electric and is an actual Mustang. How cool is that?
But that looks like a drag car. Are they selling a drag car version of their Mustang? Or is this not a production version?
Yeah. Okay, so the Mustang Mach-E that came out, late last year? I forget. We're in the upside down.
It was right around the Cybertruck.
Last century when the Mustang Mach-E came out. A lot of people, Ford fans, Mustang fans, really up in arms because it was an SUV, not a sports coupe. It wasn't a sports car, and that's what Mustang is. And so they finally now have unveiled the Mustang. Let me get the name right for you guys because it's another spectacular use of that. Mustang Jet, they call this? There has to be more.
Cobra Jet.
Cobra Jet,
says in the back there.
Where's my thing at? I had a whole list of stuff to say. But so the official announcement was Ford Performance, so that's like the performance division, they make like the GT and stuff, introduces an all-electric Mustang Cobra Jet 1400. Mustang Cobra Jet 1400, that's the name. Okay. This is a fully electric dragster prototype. So it's not quite a real car, but they are going to have an unveiling later this year, reportedly.
And in it,
we'll get to see probably a real version of this. Like, this is a drag
it's
car.
just a render. Okay.
The quarter mile time, I don't think they listed the 0 to 60. So it'll top out at 170 miles per hour with a low 8-second quarter mile time, which is absolutely bonkers.
Wow.
I don't even know what other cars get low 8 seconds. Like I think a Tesla Model S P100D is like 10.5 or something.
Yeah, it's in the tens.
Even a Roadster, the new Roadster, I think was reported around like just under 9. So
under 9 or low 9s? Because under 9 would be insane.
I don't remember exactly.
Full-blown drag cars. We're talking about people that have supercharged 1,500 horsepower, slicks in the back, stripped interior, full-blown drag cars,
Well, and that's basically what this is, right? When you look at it. So they do report 1,400 horsepower and over 1,100 foot-pounds of instant torque, they say. Wow. So this is a drag car prototype, but the cool thing about it is that when they have an unveiling, I would speculate that they will also unveil a real electric Mustang, like
that'd be cool.
A production car version of this.
That'd be cool.
I thought that was just kind of neat because, I love seeing new companies get into the electric car game. Ford obviously has a big legacy here, and they I don't feel they have as much blood on their hands with killing the EV1 back in the day as GM does, although they were all in on it. So they all definitely lobbied the CARB to remove the mandate or whatever. But whatever, I'm happy that they're here and they're coming in. And finally, this is the thing that they should have unveiled instead of the Mach-E. Honestly, it should have been this one. Holy crap, let's go for a ride in this. That would make big headlines and everyone would love that. And then, hey, by the way, we have the consumer version of this, like just a regular Mustang. And then, by the way, we now have a family version, the SUV thing, the Mach-E, later. I think they kind of went backwards. They started with like the boring version of it and then went to the super sexy version. But I like that they're bringing it. I like that they're bringing the heat here.
Yeah.
I wonder if, because what you're talking about is basically the Tesla model. Start with the big flashy thing that gets everybody's attention and then work your way down.
Yeah.
Maybe they were thinking, well, somebody else has already done the flashy thing to highlight electric cars, so let's just kind of get in there at the ground level because they've already done the work for us or something.
That's exactly what they think. And I know that because I asked them that exact question. And they were, so a very interesting thing in talking to the folks at Ford is they're all, obviously this is like, you can talk it up all you want, but I want to see 500,000 electric cars from Ford on the road before I say, okay, I believe you. But when talking to them, they're all hyped on this. They're all in. They're all pushing the electric stuff. And they were very thankful, and they actually really, really like Tesla because of what they have done. They've made electric cars okay, to where, yeah, I can drive an electric car, and it doesn't feel like, a propeller head, hit tree hugger or something. So it's like, okay. So that was the Mach-E was why they felt they could do that in talking to him. So you're exactly right.
I've always said that I feel like the whole industry went backwards with hybrid and or electric motors because first off, taking something like a Prius, right, where the competitor might be the Matrix or what, I don't remember what other like small normal internal combustion car that Toyota would have made at the time. Something that gets, we'll say 38 miles to the gallon or 35 or whatever, and then making it get 45, you're only getting a 25% increase or whatever, and make up numbers here. And not increasing the performance or anything. You're just eking out a little bit better gas mileage, as opposed to like a truck, where a truck could have got increased performance because it could have had a torque multiplier. But as a side benefit of this torque multiplier, all of a sudden you also end up getting, instead of 16 miles per gallon in the city, you're getting 30 in the city. You're doubling. Like, why didn't we start there? So people thought it was cool, and people thought it was a good idea. Like, oh yeah, my truck's got the torque multiplier, but I'm not even having to get as much gas these days. I'm sorry that I went with that accent when
torque multiplier.
Sunday.
See the torque multiplier run over 14 school buses.
No, you're right. I think. So there have been some of those folks that have said that basically that we electrified the wrong end of the fleet.
Absolutely, yes.
I mean, and also we've talked about this before, but like when you get a really tiny footprint of a car, you can't put enough batteries in it, even with the highest energy dense ones we have available today. So they suck because they don't go very far. But if you had an SUV, hell yeah. Like an electric motor has so much torque that the weight doesn't really matter a ton. Yeah, and you have such a bigger room. You can dump this is like GM was talking about. We're going to have their what was it? I don't know. Not going to make any of them batteries. I figured it wasn't titanium. It was not real battery. And they were going to unobtainium. Yeah, they were gonna punch in 200 kilowatt hours and beat Tesla. You're like, you have 200 kilowatt hours in there. Of course you're gonna go further, right? Like that's like, I would hope so. My car with a 85 gallon gas tank goes further than yours with a 10 gallon gas tank. Like it better.
I replaced my truck bed with just a fuel tank, and guess what? I have better range.
Yeah. But you're right. I think the point you're trying to make is that like it was kind of dumb to go after that part of the fleet, and then also it didn't really make much of a difference. It's like it wasn't much of a step forward.
Right, as opposed to it would have made a drastic impact on the cars that are getting the worst, especially in city. These big heavy trucks, SUVs, were in town. They're constant stop and go. You're having to accelerate all that mass constantly. That's where a hybrid system would have made the biggest difference. Like, what were we doing? Why did we start on the other end of the scale where it makes little difference?
And I think to a good step forward, and this is somewhat controversial in the EV space, is a plug-in hybrid electric vehicle. Because it is an electric vehicle, and typically they go for, 30 to 50 miles on just batteries. And that's awesome because a lot of people, that's their commute to work and back. They get to work, they plug it in, they drive home. Like I have friends, they bought a Chevy Volt with a V, and they'll they reported, I used to go get gas every other week. Now I go twice a year. And you're like, that's fantastic. That is a huge step forward, even though you're not going full battery electric vehicle. So I think that would have been, I think you're totally right. Hybrids were kind of a, what is this, other than marketing spin, and then actual plug-in hybrids, battery ones are a step forward, and that's what you see. Like Jeep is coming out. I think they said in 2022 or, in 50 years or so, all of their fleet will be plug-in hybrids, or there'll be a plug-in hybrid option.
Hey, thanks for checking us out, guys. I hope you enjoyed this clip from our podcast.
We do a weekly show here on YouTube, so make sure to subscribe to Our Ludicrous Future, where we discuss all the things that are going to make our future totally ludicrous.
You can join us here on YouTube or at any of your favorite podcast places. Plus, if you want to get some behind-the-scenes stuff and join a cool community, you can help support the channel at patreon.com. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, guys.